Shut up and sit down.
All right. We are live. Once again, we are ready. Welcome, everybody. Once again, I'm going to turn this down a little bit because I'm getting a little bit loud. Just a wee bit. Just a tiny bit. Welcome to episode 10. We are finally in the double digits. 10.
Exactly.
Doing that Ty Dillinger thing?
Yeah, it's the perfect 10.
Yeah, you know, people who listen to the podcast in audio form can't see you doing this. Maybe you should have actually said 10 over again.
I felt like doing this first because I was going with your saying 10.
Okay. Maybe what I should have done is reintroduce it and been like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. We have, as I said before, we are finally in the double digits this episode. Well, before I get into that, I am your host, one of your hosts, Murpho, and this is your other host,
DMurph.
And today, we are talking about Extreme Rules in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be doing our analysis and review of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and then we are going to be finishing our E3 2017 predictions. Last week, we went over the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and their press conferences. This week, we're doing all the third-party people. So, I'm going to fix this. I'm adjusting the camera real quick. Do not mind me. We are doing EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda,
and PC gaming.
We're going over the PC gaming show as well. And we're also probably going to be checking out what people like Capcom, Square Enix, and other people in the game industry are doing. Yeah, various other companies and industries. I'm just adjusting the camera on the stream.
CD Projekt Red. Who knows?
Yeah, CD Projekt Red always has a presence there. But we are just we're gonna jump into Extreme Rules. In the meantime, we are at the Payback pay-per-view in our WWE 2K17 Universe mode. So we are going to be following the normal rules of I will play 2 matches, DMurph over here, Dennis will play 2 matches, and we're gonna live sim the rest. We are kicking things off as I switch over full screen for you guys with the Intercontinental Championship match on Raw. Austin Aries won the right to face Kevin Owens again at the beginning of the month. And so I'm going to be playing that match. And while I play that match, Dennis is going to kick us into Raw. So let's get going.
Raw or Extreme Rules?
Oh, yeah, Extreme Rules. That's right. We start with Extreme Rules review before we go into Raw and SmackDown and NXT, which is going to be real quick this week.
The first thing I will say while introducing us is we are going to now be discussing the WWE pay-per-view, which should have been titled Not So Extreme Rules, because there wasn't too much extreme stuff going on.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't all that extreme.
Yeah. But the first match of the pay-per-view, which we did not know about when we did our predictions, was a kickoff show match. It was Apollo Crews versus Kalisto. If I remember correctly, did Apollo win? Or no, Kalisto won. Yeah, that's right. Kalisto won because Titus distracted him again, and he was able to get the Salida del Sol off on Crews and get the pin.
Yes.
And I did not get to see that match because it was on the pre-show. But the glimpses I saw of it, I thought seemed pretty good.
I heard it was. I didn't get to see it. It was the only match I didn't see from Extreme Rules, but I heard it was an adequate match. Nothing bad, nothing good. Just it was cool. It did what it needed to do.
There you go.
So there we go.
Yeah. After that, the show kicked off with the Intercontinental Championship match: Dean Ambrose versus The Miz, in which if Dean Ambrose, that guy who's arguably the person who will get the most extreme in WWE today, if he were to be disqualified, he would lose his championship. And I thought it was a hell of a match. Especially with how they were playing storyline-wise with the stipulation and everything.
Yeah, like, it started out and I wasn't sure what to make of it at first. But then as it went on and Miz kept trying different ways to get Dean Ambrose disqualified, it got really, really good. It got better as it went on. It's just, again, like, it's kind of weird to have somebody who's so extreme as Dean Ambrose, like, compete at the Extreme Rules event and not be allowed to be in an extreme match, and he can't get disqualified or do anything extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess that's kind of the point of the angle, but it was still kind of like, Why? I want to see, I want to see these two get extreme.
Yeah, I mean, that's a storyline you could have done with anyone, really, and you do it with the most extreme guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to point out, I definitely did call it with Maurice slapping The Miz during the match to try and get Dean Ambrose disqualified.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work, though.
No, it didn't work, but him throwing Dean Ambrose into the referees sure worked.
And then Dean Ambrose having to go, no, it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
Please don't disqualify me, sir.
Please, sir, I don't want to get DQ'd.
I like my title.
It's early in the morning and we are tired, if you guys can't tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the match, but then Miz snuck up on Ambrose, hit the skull-crushing finale, and 1, 2, 3, that was it. Miz is your Intercontinental Champion. Not exactly how I imagined it was going to happen, but still good nonetheless.
Yeah, same result that pretty much everyone expected.
Mm-hmm.
After that was Rich Swann and Sasha Banks versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox.
Dar, and Alicia Fox.
Yep. But yeah, it was a interesting match. It wasn't anything too special, but it did what it needed to.
It was its thing.
Had a nice flippy end to it.
Yeah, there was people did their thing. It was a thing. There was nothing really exceptional about the match. So that's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah.
It was a thing. Everybody did their thing.
It got them
Things
on TV
happened.
for the pay-per-view.
Yep. And Rich Swann got a win in his hometown of Baltimore.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Always good. Sorry, folks. Following match was the Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss defending her title against Bayley in a kendo stick on a pole match.
And that match was bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that was easily the weakest of the pay-per-view.
Not even weeks. You shut your mouth, Echo. You keep your mouth shut. Good. Yeah, that was it's not even that was the weakest match on the show. It's just also that that it was just not a good match.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I did not like that at all. If WWE is trying to kill Bayley's momentum, then mission accomplished with that match.
Seriously,
because Bayley went from being the hottest thing in the women's division when she left NXT and debuted on Raw, and she kind of stumbled a little bit, but WrestleMania gave her a mojo back, and then they've just killed it.
Yeah,
it's been killed. I don't someone who is going to hesitate. I don't care how nice of a superstar you are still a WWE superstar, and when the rules allow you to use a weapon on someone, you're going to use that weapon on someone.
Yeah, I mean the thing that
in NXT, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. I just want to say one last thing to add to that is just in NXT, Bayley had no qualms about getting extreme and using extreme tactics to defeat Sasha Banks. So why would she hold herself back against Alexa Bliss here?
Yeah. I mean, part of what bothered me is also during the match when Bayley got the kendo stick, it didn't look to me so much like she's holding back and not willing to get extreme, so much as to me it looked more like she was kind of savoring it and getting ready to use the kendo stick, and then when she actually went to go and use it, Alexa tackled her, and she just never got the chance to, because then Alexa took it and used it on her. And then they immediately after the match, I guess Bayley wasn't willing to get extreme. No, it looked like she was, she just didn't get the chance to, because her opponent capitalized. I mean, that's like when any time Randy Orton gets his RKO reversed, them saying, I guess Randy Orton didn't want to hit that RKO this time. No, the opponent got the better of him, and he didn't get to use it.
Watching it back, to me, she looked at it, she was looking at Alexa, and then she looked hesitantly at the kendo stick. So to me, it was, she hesitated slightly about using the kendo stick.
She may have hesitated slightly, but she was mid-swing. She was about to swing at Alexa when Alexa tackled her.
But she still hesitated for that split second. And that,
yeah, but hesitation does not mean not willing to.
It's still, no, based on the storyline they were telling, that hesitation means that she was doubting whether or not she was willing to do it. And then as she had finally come to terms with it, she lost. Which shouldn't have been the case, if you ask me.
I'm glad that Alexa won, but I just kind of wish that they did something more of like Bailey hit Alexa with the kendo stick a couple times, and Alexa like rolled out of the ring before Bailey could try and pin her, and then Alexa somehow got the kendo stick away from Bailey, used it on her, and basically had the match play out as it actually did when she got the kendo stick from there. But I wish they had actually, shown that Bailey was willing to, just not able to get the job
It was
done.
also a really short match.
Yeah, it was a very short match, especially for a championship match.
Yeah, it was a really short match, and like, I just last
Yeah.
chancery.
Yeah, it was just very, very strange.
It was a short match, and short match did make Bailey look good.
It did not
and
do
the
them
second,
justice.
The second that Alexa like got that kendo stick, it was just like a brutal beatdown.
Yeah.
Like, and we didn't see Bailey on Raw this week, so it makes me maybe she's hurt. Maybe that's why they did what they did.
They were saying that she's taking a little time off after the injury she sustained during the match.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. It wasn't a good match. Like, it wasn't even a good way to send Bailey out.
Like I said,
bad.
it didn't do either of them justice. If anything, it lessened the women's division on Raw by doing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last couple of weeks, like last week's "This Is Your Life" segment fail, and the match itself, like, this rivalry had stuff going when it started, and this last month has just
petered out.
Yeah, it's just ruined it. Anyway, what's our next match?
Next match after that was the Raw Tag Team title match. The Hardys defending the Tag Team Championship against Cesaro and Sheamus inside of a steel cage, which I thoroughly enjoyed that match.
Yeah, it was good. Hold on. Sorry. I had to sneeze. It was good. I enjoyed it, and it built up the drama. I liked how they had Jeff Hardy like have to come back in to basically like try to save the match. But what was it? King Ross of What Culture pointed out during his WTF Moments video that that there were many moments in that match where the Hardy where like oh my god, he just stole my finisher. He's got the last chance on Austin Aries. Didn't work though. Where Cesaro and Sheamus went up the cage, and both Hardy Boys were right next to the door, and instead of merely going, okay, you're gonna take the long way, and then stepped out and won, they would chase after Cesaro,
exactly.
Which I understand that doesn't make for entertaining wrestling, but if that's gonna be there and the door is like a way out, you've gotta like structure that match better to where when that happens, like,
Yeah, you don't have kind of mishaps like that.
Yeah, you don't have the Hardys right next to the door or something like that, or in a situation where it's like, why don't you just turn around and walk out that way?
Yeah, like one thing that it reminds me of is if I were ever to become a writer for WWE for whatever reason and were in charge of some kind of cage match, I would want it to be with some kind of heel superstar and a face superstar, and to really get heel heat going, like build up the match as if it's going to be brutal, and have the match just be like they get ready to fight and the heel superstar just hits the face superstar with a low blow and just goes, okay, open the door, and just walks out and wins.
Yeah.
Like, it's like those matches can be relatively simple to win because of the fact that you can escape through the door, and if you want to have a good cage match, you have to keep that in mind, that the door is always there and people could easily get out of the cage.
Yes.
And it was a good match overall. I still enjoyed it, just that's one little qualm I had with it.
Last chancery in the middle of the ring.
And can he do it?
Can Austin Aries finally capture the Intercontinental Championship from Kevin Owens?
And
yes!
he does.
We have a new Intercontinental Champion. Austin Aries emerges as the #1 contender, fails to win in a ladder match, but gets himself some payback.
Mm-hmm. At Payback.
See what I did there?
Yes,
that was intended. That was a pun.
Yes,
Fun.
I got it. But yeah, I thought it was a good match overall. Good for Cesaro and Sheamus. I feel like they needed the win after this storyline that's been going on.
The storyline and with the heel turn, that was the result that needed to happen.
Also,
and
I feel like it would have made the Hardys way too powerful if, with the way the storyline's been going, literally every type of match that had Sheamus and or Cesaro versus Matt and or Jeff, that Sheamus and Cesaro have lost. And that they did that whole, what was it? The number one contenders thing where Cesaro and Sheamus ran the table and beat every other tag team in the division to become number one contenders.
Yeah.
If you did that and then had them not win the titles, then how overpowered would the Hardys have been?
Yeah, and I'm hoping, if I recall correctly, we didn't see the Hardys on Raw, right?
I do not remember seeing them on Raw personally.
So, like, this might open the door for them to finally do the whole broken thing.
That's what
if they got the rights from TNA finally.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was kind of hoping the way the match would end. Why you do that?
We're simming.
Oh yeah, true.
Remember, we're simming the matches you don't want to play. So.
But the way I would have done it is kind of similar to how they do it, of having Jeff escape the cage, but not allow him to get back in, and just have Cesaro and Sheamus do kind of what what's their names? Kane and Undertaker did with Chris Kanyon in their match in a steel cage a long time ago, where it was a Brothers of Destruction versus DDP and Kanyon, and DDP escaped. And Kanyon was just kind of left there with Undertaker and Kane, and they just beat the crap out of him and then just climbed out. I was hoping for a similar kind of thing where, Jeff would get out and then just kind of leave Matt all by himself inside of the cage. Yeah. And just let Matt get beaten down. And that could lead to the broken gimmick of him just getting destroyed in the cage.
I thought about that, but then I also realized if you do that, then you got to break the Hardys up for a while.
I don't know about that, because, they could have made it where the rules were the referee, Jeff is not allowed to enter the cage again, and the referees keep him back.
But if Matt... Well, I guess if you
because
want Matt to become broken like that, but if you want to make Matt broken based on that, then the way that the broken thing happened before, I would think that he would blame Matt and want to blame Jeff and want to turn Jeff into Brother Nero or whatever, and they would have a big fight and clash and all that stuff. So I kind of wanted to, so I was like, maybe that's not the best way to go about doing it then.
Yeah, I guess.
It didn't happen anyway, so.
Yeah. Following match was the Cruiserweight Championship match. Neville defending his championship against Austin Aries in a submission match.
Yes. And that was also a good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Neville retained, which we both predicted, but...
Yeah, hold on, I just... My boss is texting me.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Fun times. The day job calls. I wish I could talk more about this match. But even though I watched it, all I remember was just that it was a good match. I just, there's really nothing memorable that I can remember about the match. Aside from the fact that Neville eventually got the Rings of Saturn, and I can't even remember how he won it.
The end of the match, if I remember correctly, was Aries got Neville in the last chancery, and Neville managed to escape out of the ring, but Aries did not release, and got him back in it on the outside, so he tapped out, and then Neville attacked him, got in the ring, which hit the red arrow on his back, and then got him in the last chancery.
Which, let's talk about the fact that it's supposed to be a submissions match, and traditionally submission matches mean submission only, which means, no pinfall, no disqualification, no count out. You only win by submission, and you can win by submission anywhere, technically.
That's the difference between a submission match and an I Quit match, because with a submission match, you have to win it in the middle of the ring. That's kind of the difference between Extreme Rules match and a hardcore match.
Because a hardcore match is somebody taps out, and then the I Quit match is you have to physically beat someone so bad that they say I quit, not by having them in a submission hold.
I understand, but the point I'm trying to make is with an I Quit match and submission match, they're both based on the idea of one person giving up, and it's kind of like how with a falls count, a hardcore match versus an Extreme Rules match, where Extreme Rules, you have to pin the person in the ring, but hardcore match, you can pin them outside the ring. You can pin them wherever.
I guess. I mean, I can understand. I can be okay with the submission not counting outside the ring under that rules, but it's a submission match.
But that's always
so
been the
there
rules of
shouldn't be
submission
so there
match.
shouldn't be a count out and disqualification. Not that I remember.
Yeah, there was also rope breaks in it. They
I
got
don't
each
know.
other.
I
in
didn't like
submissions
the
and-
rules. I didn't like it, especially since it's Extreme Rules. If it's Extreme Rules and you're gonna do a submission match, maybe make it an extreme submission rule match. Then so that way, like,
You can
I don't know.
get-
It just like instead of feeling like a submission match, it just felt like a regular match, but you just couldn't pin someone.
No, I liked it because of the fact that it was very heavy on the submission moves. Like, Austin Aries was trying a bunch of different stuff. Neville was trying a couple different things. And they were really focusing on the submission aspect of it. And I kind of liked the way it played out because of the fact that it's, once again, Neville messing around with the rules to be able to get the win over Aries.
Well, I mean, again, like I said, if the submission just counts in the ring, I would have been fine with that and him messing with the rules. But it's a submission match, like.
But
That means submission should be the only way that you should should earn a pinfall. So like, I don't think there should be I don't think the ref should have been doing a 10 count while they were both outside of the
he
ring.
wasn't, though.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
After he told him that he couldn't make the pinfall in there, he did 10 counts, and there were times where they were inside and outside the ring or earlier on in the match, and the ref was doing 10 counts.
I do not remember him doing a single 10 count throughout the entire match.
As far as I recall, he was, yes.
No, I just remember he was yelling at Aries after that, you can't beat him outside the ring. He has to be inside the ring.
Yes, but earlier on, they did outside spots where Aries did dives, and the referee was doing 10 counts.
I do not remember the referee
I
doing
remember
any
that,
10
and I
counts
also
at all.
remember, and I also watched. Again, I also watched What Culture's videos on Extreme Rules, like the ups and downs and everything, and Simon Miller was stating that was also reiterating that they were doing 10 counts
Right,
and
well,
insinuating there was no
The 10
disqualification.
count portion, I didn't agree with, but the idea that he submitted on the outside of the ring and didn't lose, I'm okay with.
You know, like I said, that's okay. I'm just saying, like,
I guess I was just
If you
so
do-
focused
also, if you do
on the
rope-
actual wrestling of the match, I didn't notice the referee doing that because I didn't even consider that.
like, if you do rope breaks, that means there's a disqualification, so,
Well, not necessarily. It could just be, the idea of if they're on the ropes, they could tap out, but it's not going to count.
okay. I guess. You don't have to break the hold, but any tap out isn't going to count because they're on the ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just again,
And
I had
that's
I had no problems with the match, just the rules itself.
Yeah,
That bugged
and like
me.
I said, with the whole 10 count thing, I guess I was just so focused on like how the match was going that I didn't even notice the ref was doing 10 counts and stuff because it didn't even occur in my mind that he would even do that. So why would I even think about it or even focus on that?
Yeah. So
Here.
what match was after that?
After that was the big match, the number one contendership for the Universal Championship in a Extreme Rules fatal 5-way match between Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Samoa Joe.
Which I think by far was the standout match of the night.
Oh, yeah.
That match was awesome.
Yeah, it had
Every
a couple
guy
of,
brought it.
It had some awkward moments here and there, but not many. And overall, the match was the best of the night, in my opinion.
Roman Reigns spearing, what was it?
Balor and Joe.
Balor and Joe through the guardrail,
barricade.
the barricade. That
And
was
then-
sick.
And then the frog splash.
Yep, the frog splash through the table to
I
Wyatt.
had to point out, that made me very nervous, because when you watch the replays, Rollins' right knee, which is the one that he had surgery on and everything, hit the edge of the table, which isn't made of the same wood and everything. It's made of metal. Mm-hmm. So seeing him hit his knee on there and then him selling the knee afterwards made me very nervous.
I thought it was like, because I was watching those replays over carefully, and I remember seeing one knee. He hit one knee with the edge. I can't remember if it was left or the right, and he sold the opposite knee.
No.
I could have.
Because I remember I was watching, if you look with the way he came down, his body was like this.
No, I saw the way he
and
came
his-
down, and I saw that one of his knees hit the edge. I just recall him selling the other knee.
Alright.
That's all I remember. That's it. Like, I'm not saying that his knee didn't hit that metal's edge of the table. I just recall him like seeing that and watching carefully, and I could have sworn he sold the other knee. Like, he sold the left knee, or it was his left knee that hit and he sold the right knee.
Yeah, I know for a fact it was his right knee that hit by the way he fell and everything, but like I said,
But
it
maybe I
made
was
me a
wrong.
little nervous. But I mean, the match was good overall, and it had a kind of similar end to how we were thinking it might end, where Balor did the coup de grace, and instead of him stealing the win with that, he went to get the win with that and had it stolen away from him.
Yeah, like when he went to pin Roman, I was like, oh, I don't think somebody's going to come in and do something, because I don't think they're going to let him pin Roman clean and win, because that would discredit Roman for the future Brock Roman match. And then lo and behold, in comes Joe, out of nowhere, chokes him out, and then we have Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, a match I never thought was going to happen, because I didn't think that the WWE was going to let it happen. But we've got it, and it's happening.
I thought it was going to happen.
So goddamn happy and excited for it, because it's going to be amazing.
I thought the match was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen yet. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to happen later down the road, but it's going to be a good match. So.
Oh, we got a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Yep. Two title matches, 2 changing of championships. Alexa Bliss loses to Charlotte, and Charlotte's your new SmackDown Women's Champion. Yep. Austin Aries is your new Intercontinental Champion. Mm-hmm. Echo, you shut up. Shut your mouth.
But I mean,
shut your mouth, Echo.
That match was good. The main thing I liked about it is how everyone shined during that match.
Yeah, everybody looked
shined. Good. Seth Rollins shined. Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns. Everyone looked good in that match.
Yeah, everyone looked good.
Which sometimes in matches like that can be a little hard because sometimes people get lost in the shuffle. But they made everyone look good in that match.
Yeah, that match made everyone look like a legitimate contender, and Samoa Joe is now your number 1 contender. It's awesome.
Yeah, I also like that he won with the Coquina clutch like that because after a match that long and that tiring, and especially with how much Finn Balor had been beat down, he got hit by a couple steel chairs and stuff in that match. The fact that Joe just came up and got the Coquina clutch, I was like, that may even be quicker than a pinfall, honestly.
Yeah. Like I was saying, everybody looked like a strong, legitimate threat to Brock Lesnar after that match. Then Raw happened, and we got our traditional Bray Wyatt stuff.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into that, as this match ends, we have to go over our predictions.
Do you want to start the next sim? Because I'm pretty sure the next match
is sim. Yeah, I'll get to it. Let me talk. And I will just say that history will show that I was the first ever predictions champion. Mm-hmm. Do you want to play this match or no?
No.
Okay. So, I did not want that to happen. You can go away. I was the first ever predictions champion. Nothing can ever take that away from me. And I had to get 2 shows right to do so. 2 shows in 1. But because I decided that Dar and Fox were going to win, because I thought WWE was actually going to try and build up Dar and make Alicia Fox a reasonable threat in the women's division, actually do something with their Raw women's division. I was wrong.
Why build up Alicia Fox when you haven't even seen Emma on TV for a while?
And because Balor got the main event taken from Samoa Joe, I have lost my championship.
Quick shout out to Samoa Joe. Thank you very much.
So we all pretty much, the predictions went where the only matches I got wrong was the opener and the main event. And the only match you got wrong was the main event. We had all the same predictions except for the opener and the main event. We both missed the main event, and you got the opener. Therefore, I must take this. Don't worry, baby. It's okay. You don't have to be. No, shh. It's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna get you back real soon. It's gonna be okay. Okay. Hey, I was trying to have a tender moment with my championship.
Heel status.
But if I recall correctly, isn't Money in the Bank a week from Sunday?
Yes, it is 2 weeks away.
So you've got yourself. You enjoy that because you've got yourself about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got myself 2 shows, which is what you had this for. So
2 shows. There is not a takeover that weekend. The next takeover.
No. I said you've had it.
Oh, 2 episodes of Super Grapple Bros. I thought you said 2 shows as in pay-per-views.
No. You've held it for 2, and I will hold it at least for 2. And I'm excited to win at the next pay-per-view. with
You're
my
not going
predictions
to.
and
You're not
become
going to.
your longest reigning champion.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm gonna become the first 2-time champion because that's the only way it can happen.
Unless I somehow can beat myself. Oh no,
That's
I
not
lost the title.
That's not PG, man.
To me.
That's not PG to beat yourself.
Very funny.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, let's go to Raw because I want to let's move on from this.
Raw was interesting this week. Had a couple interesting things. I like the way they've been developing the storyline with Enzo and Big Cass, where I still think that the way they're doing it, I still think it's Big Cass behind this whole thing.
Me too.
They're kind of playing it off as if there's someone targeting the two of them, but I think
And he had gold chains, which only Enzo wears.
Yeah, I think he somehow got a hold of them, either from Enzo or just extra ones from somewhere, like maybe from his bag or something, and pretended to get knocked out or whatever. And he's just doing this to try and further convince people that he's not the one that's attacking Enzo, but I think he's still the one attacking Enzo. But it was an interesting way they did it. I liked the way they had Big Show come out and team with Enzo later in the night. They had a very nice promo before their match. I don't know if you saw that. It was great. Enzo came out doing his whole thing of like, my name is Enzo More, blah, blah, blah. And then said that he had someone, a partner to come out, and Big Show came out, and he's like, and he's 7 foot tall. Bada boom, biggest show in the room, how you doing? And started doing a bunch of little joke stuff where he kept telling him, like, Big Show, like, loosen up, you gotta loosen up, come on, because Big Show is looking angry. He's like, look, you're doing me a favor. I really appreciate it that you're doing me a favor. Just, loosen up a little. And Big Show's like, you want me to loosen up? You want me to loosen up? Yeah, just loosen up a little. Oh, right. And then he just started doing, like, Cass's shtick and did the whole, there's only one word to describe you guys, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. But I liked how he went from being serious, looking like he was about to kill Enzo, to all of a sudden, all right, let me just go along with this.
Well, I mean, Big Show turns heel and face so often he's pretty used to it. He can do it he can just do it on the drop of a dime now.
Well, I mean, he's been face for a while now, but I mean, I guess he's got his schedule in his pocket about him and Mark, because him and Mark Henry are on off weeks.
Really?
It was a joke. 1 week he's a face and Henry's a heel. The next week he's a heel, Henry's a face.
Oh, I didn't know that Mark Henry had a reputation for going heel and face so quickly.
Yeah, towards the end he started doing the same kind of thing as Big Show with Big Show.
Hey Cam, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up?
So
Look, Cam.
No,
Look
don't
what
look.
happened.
Don't look. You're crowding me, by the way. You've got space in the shot over there.
Well, I gotta get it in.
You've got it in. You can slide over a little bit. You can also switch it to your other shoulder.
But then it's blocked.
No, it's not. Just look. You've got a little bit of space. Slide over. You're crowding me a little bit. Crowding me a little bit. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. You're all up in my business. I'd appreciate it if you weren't all up in my business.
It's cool. It's just, greatest champ of all time here.
Dude has it for like 5 minutes, and he's the greatest champ.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I have a better record against you with this last pay-per-view than you did with me. You didn't even get a single prediction right. Again, that we were different on, at least. 1-0.
You were 1-0-1. That's not it. You didn't even say the record right. All right, can we move on? Can we move on? The end zone Cass thing, yeah, I still think it's Big Cass unless it's Big Cass and Enzo beating each other up.
I highly doubt that.
But
you think
I feel
Enzo's
like the whole
gonna be beating up Big Cass?
I don't know. He could, a foreign object from behind. I don't know. I guess maybe the Big Show thing might have been trying Enzo with different partners to see if he could feed off other people as much as Cass, in case maybe they're undecided about breaking them up or making somebody else the attacker. I don't know. Like I said, I hold on to my statement from last week where I believe it's not a good idea to break them up for Enzo's sake, and I feel like Cass, I don't really like. What are they going to do with Cass as a single superstar? I feel like unless they want to have him go for the Intercontinental Championship, like I feel like they have lots of other superstars they need to work with, and they need strong tag teams in the tag team division. So
yeah, I don't think it'd be a smart idea, but then again, I didn't think it'd be a smart idea for Jinder to win the WWE Championship.
In 3 weeks, Cam? I could have sworn it was a week from Sunday that Extreme Rules was happening. Or is it?
Yeah, they were saying at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view that Money in the Bank is 2 weeks away.
Yeah. So it'll be in the right place in a couple weeks. Anyway, what else? Before we get to the Joe stuff.
There were
brought up
things that happened.
one thing I brought up.
Super kick.
Going off of what I was saying at the end of Extreme Rules was how in the main event everybody looked like a legitimate threat and contender to Lesnar's championship, and then they sent Bray Wyatt out to start off Raw to talk nonsense and then lose again.
Yeah, that bothered me so much that he goes out talking about how he's going to get his vengeance on everyone and punish everyone for
and then
his
immediately
loss.
loses clean to Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And yes, it really is that close because Money in the Bank is apparently a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bothered me so much.
Why do they keep doing this to Bray Wyatt? It's like now every time, like, I like Bray Wyatt.
Zigzag.
But every time he comes out now, I'm like, you're just gonna spout off a bunch of nonsense that's not gonna result in anything. Dolph Ziggler retains the U.S. title again.
Still.
And I'm like, and nothing's gonna change. Like, you won the WWE Championship, yes, but even in a kayfabe sense, like, you won it in an Elimination Chamber match with 5 other people, so it wasn't even like a fair and square one-on-one match. So it's like,
yeah,
what claim do you have to being this great thing or this spooky thing that you always say that you have?
Yeah, I mean, it bothers me because as people like Jim Ross himself has said, he thinks that Bray Wyatt is going to take over the role of The Undertaker in WWE. That's what he
will,
thinks.
but they need to pull the goddamn trigger on him. Like,
exactly. Like, it bothers me so much because I understand Roman is the guy. He is your guy right now. Is it gonna kill him for after being injured recently and just being in that hellacious match where he was beaten with a chair and was the last person to take a big hit at the end of the match? Is it really gonna kill him to lose one goddamn match on the opening of Monday Night Raw?
It's not even that.
1
Like,
week?
it's not even that. Like, just don't make Wyatt look weak. You could have Wyatt get himself disqualified and beat up on Roman. Just have him get disqualified.
The match was good until it was just a clean win.
Yeah, like let him get disqualified. Roman gets the win. Have Wyatt attack Roman to show off what Wyatt can do. Like,
yeah.
Because now every time Wyatt comes out and says stuff, I'm like, it's not going to matter because you're not going to win and you're not going to back it up. If you don't walk the walk, nobody's going to listen to you when you talk the talk.
Exactly.
And that's what Bray Wyatt is right now. He's all talk, no walk.
Yeah, they've been doing this for so long. It's getting ridiculous. I love Bray Wyatt. Which, one thing I want to point out, I see a bunch of people online saying that they don't like Bray Wyatt and don't think he could work. And I want to know, what the hell is wrong with you? I can understand not liking the guy, but saying he's not good. Are you blind?
No,
or
Wyatt,
just dumb?
Wyatt is good.
Busts his ass in that ring, and he is really good. How can, this guy is one of the best superstars on Raw. They might not be using him right, but he's one of the best athletically on Raw in the ring. And you're going to say that he's not that good? One thing I like to point out is that Stone Cold Steve Austin himself says is, if you can't throw a legitimate looking punch, then you really shouldn't be in that ring. You need to get something like that with the basics done. And Bray Wyatt has some of the best strikes, at least best looking strikes, on Raw. And a lot of the other top guys can't really say that. Like, I hate to throw shade, but I mean, Samoa Joe, at one point during that Extreme Rules match, you were throwing shots on someone like Roman Reigns or something like that, and you were clearly not even connecting. Mm-hmm. So you want to talk stuff about people like Bray Wyatt. I mean, look at, like, your number one contender for the Universal title had a really weak spot during that match, and Bray Wyatt didn't have a single one.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Wyatt's good. I'm not going to dispute that at all. It's just, Pepe said, you got to make the big guy look strong, which, I mean, yes, I understand. Whether Pepe meant that as a joke or not, like, you do need to make Roman look strong.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking on Brock Lesnar. But you shouldn't be doing it at the expense of Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt is the kind of guy who needs the wins.
Yeah,
He needs the wins. So like Cam said in the chat, don't put Bray against Roman. Or if you put Bray against Roman, have him do something where like he gets disqualified or counts out Roman, where it's kind of like a non-finish where like Roman doesn't look weak because Bray had to use like extreme tactics or underhanded tactics to win.
Yeah.
Like if Bray loses but shows that he is brutal and vicious in doing so, that's fine, but you can't have him lose clean every single week and then have him come out every single week saying that he is the eater of worlds and going to destroy everyone and a god. Because you're not going to believe him. You're a god? Well, guess what? You just lost to somebody wearing a bulletproof vest as his ring gear. Like, not to discredit Roman, because I like Roman, but it's like, dude with bulletproof vest, god. Put those two together. Who do you think should win?
Yeah.
In the conventional terms, a really kick-ass, badass SWAT guy. Like who would win in a fight? Like Jason's like The Rock's character from Fast and the Furious or Thor?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what you're comparing. That's what you're doing by putting Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt and having Bray Wyatt call himself a god.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, like in that comparison, Thor kicks the ever-living crap out of Hobbs.
Yeah. He may be a big dude that could kick ass, but not against someone that is literally a god. Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up, though.
No, Pepe, I agree. Like, it's not that Bray's not given the chance, or not trying. They're not giving him the chance. And that's a failure on booking.
WWE's
He's not
part,
being booked well. Like I said, like we were saying, he's good, and we like him. It's just they're not booking him well. And it's affecting his character, and it's making me not believe a single thing that he says.
I was overjoyed when he became WWE Champion. Just want to point that out. Probably one of my favorite moments of the last 6 months in WWE.
Yeah, and then they gave it to Randy Orton, which is fine, but they shouldn't. Then they went and did the House of Horrors thing, and he didn't get a proper rematch, and it's just
headlock.
Yeah, they dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just. It's like Bray Wyatt's in a bad place. Bray Wyatt needs a win bad, and they need to give him a win badly.
I think that might be
might not happen, because if he goes up against Finn Balor, that's not going to happen. Well, but it seems like they might be putting him against Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it looks like they might be putting him against Rollins, who can eat a win, or eat a loss, and still be good.
Can he, though? Like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I feel like since he beat Triple H, Rollins has kind of been on a bit of a slide himself, and is almost in a situation, not as bad as Wyatt, but is in a situation where almost he can't afford a loss, because I feel like he's starting to slip and become a little irrelevant, almost.
I don't think so, because, I mean, he had his match with Joe at whatever pay-per-view it was, Payback or whatever, and he beat Joe in that match. He had a win over Joe. He's had wins over people like Joe, who are now the Universal Championship champion. He's had good matches against Roman Reigns. Hell, he beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title when he initially came back. He is good, and I think him having one pay-per-view loss, especially after beating Triple H at WrestleMania and then beating Samoa Joe at the next pay-per-view after that, I don't think one pay-per-view loss in a one-on-one match is really going to hurt him that much, and it will build up Bray Wyatt a good amount.
Yeah, no, if they do Wyatt versus Rollins, Wyatt has to win. And, like, I hate to do this at Rollins' expense, but Wyatt can't just win. Wyatt has to, like, dominate Rollins, I feel like.
I don't think he necessarily has to dominate, but I think he has to have a clean victory over him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cam said he was saying that he feels Rollins needs the win because he isn't quite working out as a face, and they need to do something to make him not as, like, generic. I mean, I don't mind face Rollins. He's just not as entertaining as heel Rollins, but we don't need heel Rollins at the moment. Heel Rollins is going to come back.
He's not the hero that we need right now, but he is the heel that we deserve.
Yes.
But anyway, speaking of heels that we need and or deserve.
Big Stupid makes a good point. Even if Balor beats Rollins, he kind of does need another win. All right, like
You mean over
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Like Wyatt is in such a bad place right now that he needs multiple wins for people to think he's gonna actually.
But I
do
mean,
anything.
it's a start. If he has if they have like a match of the night match, the two of them, and he beats Rollins that way, then it's at least a very good start. If they have like a barn burner of a match and he goes over Rollins.
Speaking of a barn burner, Bayley, who wasn't on Raw and had that atrocious match on Extreme Rules, she's going to town and putting on a pretty classic match right now with Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
The Raw Women's Championship.
One thing I want to bring up that I forgot to mention to you before the show is all the stuff with Dean Ambrose and The Miz and Elias Sampson that happened on Raw.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, where it was basically Elias Sampson came out, was doing his whole shtick. I believe he was supposed to have a match with Dean Ambrose. Dean just came out, went to say something, just beat Elias down, started talking on the mic to the Miz saying that he wants his championship match now, and Miz being like, "No, I have my celebration tonight. We're not having that match tonight." And then when he was done with that, Samson getting back in the ring and attacking Ambrose from behind. And then later that night, Kurt Angle telling Dean that he has to leave the building, and then making Dean leave. And then later Kurt Angle left for whatever reason, for personal reasons, and wouldn't say why he had to leave, just saying that it was personal. And as he left, Dean snuck in, and they had the Miz's celebration, which was great. I don't know if you saw any of it.
I heard of it, and it sounded amazing.
I loved it. Like, they're in the ring, Miz and Maurice, and they have champagne, and he's talking about he's so glad that she got him a dancing bear, and she's like, "I didn't get the bear. I didn't get the bear. Well, I didn't get the bear. Who got the bear? I didn't get the bear." So Miz just attacks her. He's like, "Oh, you thought you could get one over on me, Dean?" And it was just one random guy, and I loved, as he goes to throw him out of the ring, he goes, "Well, I mean, hey, kid, at least you could say that you got beat up by the Intercontinental Champion," and throws him out of the ring. And then there was a whole thing with the present that he destroyed that was actually a present for Maurice, and he was the cameraman. It was a good segment.
Yeah, it was, from what I heard, it was a good segment, and Miz and Ambrose continue to be gold in the Intercontinental Championship rivalry.
Yeah.
I think the right person has the championship on him right now. I think Dean's better chasing it. I don't know what they're doing, throwing Samson into this whole mix. I don't know if they're planning on making him be Dean's next rival after this, or they actually want him to go after the Intercontinental Championship after this. But I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like this whole Miz Ambrose thing is so good they shouldn't mess with it.
I think it's
That's
just
the
that way
only
they
elements into
have something for him to do.
Yeah, but we gotta move on.
Why don't we talk about what Ryback brought up?
Well, we still got one more thing to talk about with Raw, but I want to move on to it real quickly. Cam, I think there's a healthy balance of heel and faces right now, and I feel like I don't think you can put Raw with Samoa Joe and Wyatt and everything. I don't think you can put Rollins in as a heel just yet, but there will come the right time.
Yeah.
And Pepe, we did talk about the Bayley thing already. And you did not miss the Joe Paul Heyman segment, Big Stupid. And no, I don't ever sleep, by the way. That's actually what we're going to get to next, because that was, I think, the highlight of the night was the Samoa Joe and Paul Heyman segment.
I just throw one sneak thing in quickly?
Yeah, sure.
In regards to the Raw and SmackDown having too many heels, I just want to point out the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match has 3 faces and 3 heels.
Yeah.
It's pretty even.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a pretty good job of it right now.
Yeah, but that's SmackDown. Let's talk about before we get on to SmackDown, let's talk really quick about the highlight of the night, which was the Joe Paul Heyman segment.
That was so good.
Which was, oh my God, gold. That's exactly what I want to see out of a Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar rivalry. Is Samoa Joe coming out and saying, like, I'm not afraid of Brock Lesnar. I will take it to Brock Lesnar. And the fact that Heyman, give it to Paul Heyman for the last month and a half.
With words.
No, not just his way with words, but last month it was Finn Balor, and this week, Anonymous gives us a follow.
Thank you.
So thank you, Anonymous, for the follow. Heyman has been able to make superstars just out of his promos.
Yeah.
Like, he built up Finn Balor so much. He built up Samoa Joe this much. He was like, I know you don't fear Brock Lesnar. I know Brock Lesnar doesn't fear you, but I feel like you're the worst case scenario because even though you might not beat Brock Lesnar, you're probably not better than Brock Lesnar.
You're taking a piece
You're
of
gonna
him with
take
him.
a piece out of him, and Brock Lesnar's never gonna be the same.
Yeah.
Again.
And one thing I like to point out with Paul Heyman about his ability to make superstars look good, Paul Heyman once talked about how he could give Mark Henry a regular old headlock as a finisher and make it one of the best finishers in WWE at the time. And with how he was describing it, I believed him at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good he is with describing all this kind of stuff and building people up.
Yeah. But the segment was great. They fed off each other really well. You really believe that Joe is a credible threat to Brock Lesnar now.
Yeah.
And they made it, and the way that they framed it is that, like, they even built it with what Heyman said is that, like, even if Joe, like, the fact of the matter isn't that, like the big story isn't the championship really so much anymore, is the fact that this is going to be a brawl, and that even in a loss, Joe might forever alter and change Brock Lesnar, which sets him up, because I believe Joe is going to lose, makes Joe still look good if he goes toe-to-toe and takes Brock to task.
My prediction for what's going to happen with this feud from here, which is what I'm excited for, is, especially since later on in the night they had Paul Heyman on the phone with Brock Lesnar saying, I think next week you need to come to Raw and make Joe afraid of you and show him why he should be afraid of Brock Lesnar. My guess is that next week Lesnar's going to come out, Joe's going to come out, Joe's not going to be afraid. And Lesnar's just gonna
like friggin' crazy.
Well, I think Lesnar's just gonna strike out of nowhere, hitting him with like a bunch of German suplexes, and because he catches Joe off guard with it, kind of just like beating him down. And then the following week, Joe's gonna come out and be like, "Hey, listen, he got the better of me last week, but that's because I wasn't expecting it. And you know what? You're not gonna expect what I'm gonna bring to you at the pay-per-view." And I think it's gonna build to them just having with Joe being prepared for it, all kinds of reversals, and them just having one hell of a match. I think them doing it that way will build it up really nicely.
I don't like that because you just had Paul Heyman talk up Joe, how big of a threat he is, and whether Brock catches him off guard or not, having Brock decimate Joe a week after that, I feel like destroys his credibility as a challenger.
I'm not saying decimate him. I'm saying catch him off guard and just like hit him with a bunch of Germans.
If Joe recovers from that like it's nothing, then it's good. But I don't think they will do that. Or
at least do something like hit him with one German or something.
No, what I want to see is I want to see these two brawl all around the arena like Lesnar Taker style when they were like in a rivalry around Hell in a Cell a couple of years ago, where they're just beating the hell out of each other, and security and referees are trying to just separate them, and they're destroying them, striking them, taking them out left and right. But we will see. And that segment was great, and it makes Joe look like a serious threat. And as Cam said, that is how you quickly build somebody and make them look like a credible threat, as opposed to how they handled Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, but I mean, also one thing Samoa Joe has that Jinder doesn't is the experience. I mean, Jinder has experience, but not as much experience as Joe, and a lot more people know about Samoa Joe and what he's done than Jinder Mahal, especially with all the stuff he did with Finn Balor in NXT.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of Jinder Mahal, we got to transition over to SmackDown Live.
Yeah, you can handle that.
Yeah, you're making this hard on me. We're doing a podcast. We're supposed to talk about all these shows, and you just don't do
two things. To be fair,
you playing this one or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
To be fair, first off, you didn't watch NXT this week, so I got to carry that.
But I'm not boycotting NXT. I'm not you are actively boycotting SmackDown deliberately.
It's also, I mean, to be fair, it's also because if I had to watch SmackDown this week, that would be at least 9 hours of wrestling I would have had to watch this week from Sunday till now.
Yeah, that is true. I think that's one of the reasons why WWE's ratings are down a little bit, because it's so long.
Much.
It's too much for people to take in. But anyway, SmackDown Live happened. It kicked things off with all the women for the Shane McMahon and all the women in the Money in the Bank ladder match in the ring. They unveiled the Money in the Bank briefcase, which is white. It's the same Money in the Bank logo, but it's white instead of gold. And then it felt very formulaic and boring to me. It was like, okay, this person's going to talk crap. Now it's this person's turn to talk crap. Now it's this person's turn to talk crap. Now it's this person's turn to talk crap. And it just, like, the Veil of the Briefcase was good, but that part was kind of bad because it's like, yeah, you know, like, it felt too formulaic and, like, dull. To me. But then Lana finally debuted and came out in a nice dress, and she still has a Russian accent. And she came out and she's like, you know, you have 5 people in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Traditionally, like, there's 6 people, I think she said, or something like that. Yeah. And she's like, and Naomi's not in the match because she's the champion, so I want to be in the match, and because I deserve a shot. And then Naomi just with the straight savagery, just saying, you haven't even been in, you have, like, what experience gives you the right to be in that, because you haven't even been in a singles match. Yeah. You haven't even had a singles match. And then
I also just want to point out, hey, Lana, they actually would usually have 7 people in the match. Yeah. They're just doing 6 for this paper.
No, before they did 7, they did 6. 6 was a staple, and then they decided to add a 7th person.
I thought it was 8, then they went down to 7.
No, it was
stuck there for a while.
It was 6, and then I think they did 7, and then they
because at WrestleMania they mostly did 7, and I think for like the Intercontinental title match that one year at WrestleMania, it was 8 people.
I remember being 6, and I'm pretty sure at WrestleMania 30 wasn't it 6, or 32 wasn't it 6 people?
They didn't have a Money in the Bank match then.
Oh, I mean the Intercontinental Championship. But we're getting away from the point. We gotta keep moving. Anyway, then Shane McMahon was like, "Yeah, you have to earn the title match." So no, Lana left, and then like Naomi said some stuff, and then the segment was over. It was meh. The Lana stuff was cool, and the briefcase reveal was cool, but all the talking was like, It's pretty much, oh, let's get everybody in a big multi-man match together in a promo, and then they're all gonna talk and say stuff, and then nothing happens. I was like, Then, trying to remember what happened. Next, we had Ziggler versus AJ Styles. It was an okay match. AJ got his win back. Blah. 50-50 booking. Blah. Then we got, I believe, a Fashion Police New Day promo, which was hilarious. The New Day showed up at the Fashion Police office, and the New Day wanted to get a case file. I believe it was on the Usos. Mm-hmm. And they tried to bribe Breezango, the Fashion Police.
What is this? What do you know about their day 1 being H?
Day 1 is H. Ish, Gesundheit, which was hilarious.
Yes.
And then they tried to bribe the Fashion Police with rompins, the male rompers.
Yeah.
And of course, as I'm sure everybody agrees,
we're getting
Fandango decided that was not going to happen. That ish was not going to happen, and threw the rompers to the ground. They go, no, that's in. You're supposed to wear them, not throw them on the ground. Which, that was hilarious. Those 5 guys fed off each other so well, which makes sense because Breeze is in tight with New Day. They're like Breeze and Woods are like best friends.
Yeah.
So. But it was really good. Those guys are hilarious. Of course, you guys know I love the New Day. Breeze is awesome.
New Day.
And then we saw New Day battle Primo and Epico, which was an okay match. Woods was in there for a long time. I think that might have been the most in-ring time Woods has had in a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
on TV.
Also been away for a while.
On TV. Well, no, normally when they do
Kofi and Big E.
Well, not just that, but also when he's in the match, he's normally not in there for that long. Mm-hmm. But he was in there for a good long chunk, which was good. I like that. I'm always for more Xavier Woods on TV. I love Austin. He is amazing. And New Day won. The match itself was just okay. And the fact that the good thing was that it wasn't a quick match, so it didn't ruin Primo and Epico or the momentum really. Mm-hmm. And it built up a strong case for for the New Day as champions, or as contenders for the championships. Then what happened next? I'm trying to remember what happened next. We had tag title stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something big. Oh, well, something big, but it was more something meh.
The big guy.
No. Your WWE champion came out.
He's not my WWE champion.
And it was freaking. It was a bad promo by Jinder Mahal.
As to be expected.
He came out and it was just a bad promo. He just came out and he was like, blah 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 blah. I'm going to ruin the dream of Randy Orton to win back the championship, and I'm a heel and I'm evil and blah blah blah. Generic heel stuff. Blah blah blah. Promo over. And then they had Randy Orton interviewed in the back, and then he was like, blah blah blah. Beat up Jinder. Blah blah blah. Just, I hate to say it.
Yeah,
because Randy's a legend, and I'm sure Jinder's a good guy, but I am not interested in this rivalry at all.
Yeah, I don't
I have no care in the world at all. I don't even think the entrance was that good. Like he had his turban on his head. He had it covering his face, which gave some kind of bad imagery, if you ask me. And he was introduced by the Singh Bros, which was kind of alright. But yeah, that was just And then your main event was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens. Before that, Sami Zayn was supposed to be ringside in commentary, and you had a cool moment where Baron Corbin just beat the living hell out of him.
Nice.
So he couldn't make it out there. The match itself was good, because, it's Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura, but nothing really to write home about. So, it wasn't like they were going like crazy. So maybe for them it was subpar, but it was an okay match. Nakamura won, but then Corbin came out and attacked Nakamura. So Corbin could look good. And it ended with Nakamura down in the ring and Corbin just walking away. So that was SmackDown. It was kind of okay. Nothing really
too special.
Nothing too special. Like I said, we found out that Naomi, or that Lana did get approved to have a one-on-one match with Naomi. I believe it's going to be at Money in the Bank. It's I don't believe it's for the championship though. It's either for Money in the Bank or next week on SmackDown, but I think it's at Money in the Bank. Yeah, it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank is the next SmackDown pay-per-view.
So, well, I thought possibly next SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, SmackDown kind of wasn't really that great this week.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised, honestly.
I think aside from the stuff with the New Day and the Fashion Police, there really wasn't, and Lana's debut, there really wasn't much to talk about. So with that said, let's move on to NXT. What happened in NXT?
Well, first thing I want to point out is look at this great double teamwork. Oh man, they finally got back.
The Lana Naomi match is for the championship, by the way. So interesting. She's not gonna win it, but interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, with NXT, it was kind of interesting this week. Started out with a tag team match between Heavy Machinery and two random singles competitors that they put together in a tag team match. Mm-hmm. No surprise here. Heavy Machinery won. When the match was over, the guy's tag partner attacked him, and that basically spelled the end of it. But it wasn't anything too interesting.
You said it was a really big dude who was the...
something...
Was he the one who attacked his partner?
Yeah.
Because... I can't remember the guy's name, but in the first match, that's his second match then. Because he was in a tag title match. He was in a tag match against Heavy Machinery with another dude, and they lost because the other dude, he beat up the other dude too. So.
Oh, what a reversal.
I just wanted to throw that in there, as you were saying.
But yeah, they did some stuff for the women's title match. Just basically being like, oh, hey, we're gonna be doing that triple threat elimination match next week. By the way, just remember that. Shatter Machine. Look at these guys. Get out of the way. Mm-hmm. Oh. Alright, let's see if he gets the win after the Shatter Machine. 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions. The Revival.
Oh, damn. Oh, my damn.
We go hard. Top guys out.
Top guys out.
No. NXT was interesting though. They did a thing with Hideo Itami where he did an interview backstage, and the person interviewing him asked, like, "Oh, since you lost at Takeover to Bobby Roode, are you gonna go back to Japan?" And he was like, "What are you talking about? No, I had one loss. I'm not going back to Japan over one loss."
Yeah.
And he had a match with Oni Lorcan where he hit not one, not two, but 3 GTSs before Cassius Ohno came out and was like, "Hey, knock it off." And they got into a little confrontation, and the ref threw the match out. The main event of the show was really interesting. It was No Way Jose versus Killian Dane. And which the thing that made it interesting about it is Killian Dane came out with Eric Young and Alexander Wolf. But then Alexander Wolf and Eric Young left. So he actually didn't have Sanity ringside when they had the match, and Killian Dane ended up coming up on top and won the match. But both that match and the Hideo Itami Oni Lorcan match, they were both good matches. They were very enjoyable, and they both ended in interesting ways. Killian Dane hit his finisher, I forget what it's called, the something plantation, and pinned him in the middle of the ring, but they were both good matches overall.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Dane had to win that match. Like, you can't have No Way Jose win that match, to be honest with you.
I mean, the only way he could win is like a roll-up or something.
Yeah, unless it was like there was some sort of trickery or tomfoolery going on. And then, sorry about that. And then the Itami Lorcan match, from what you told me about it, with how brutal Itami was.
Yeah, it was good.
Was awesome. And yeah, like Pepe saying,
his heel turn,
like his heel turn is looking nice. And Big Stupid, I don't think he is going back to Japan. I doubt it. I would hope not.
Yeah, I think he's going to the main roster is what I think he's doing.
Yeah. Him versus Cassius Ohno is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I kind of spaced out a bit there.
One thing I know is probably not going to happen, but I joked around with our friend JJ, our friend down in NXT, the guy who had Ciampa blacked out on his shirt. He got on BuzzFeed for that, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah,
Nice.
as like 5 best and 5 worst. He was under 5 best for It's Still Real to Him, damn it. Yeah. I was talking with him, and we thought it would be a hilarious, but probably never going to happen idea if one day we see like Hideo Itami and Asuka move up to the main roster and go on SmackDown, and they form an all-Japanese stable with Shinsuke Nakamura. And then Funaki shows up, and he's like, "What about me?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And Funaki is just like their random manager and tries to name them Team Funaki, and they're like, "No, we're not doing that."
No.
I thought that'd be
No
pretty
Funaki-san.
interesting, but-
No Funaki-san.
I love that. In kayfabe, his character's full name is Kung Funaki.
Yeah. God, that gimmick was awful, but it's a hilarious name.
Yes, I love it so much.
And it's so racist, too.
His
Really
name is
racist.
Kung Funaki.
Oh, God.
That bitch loves some sake. Thank you, Gregory Helms, for that.
All right. So, yeah, that was NXT. NXT, good.
Yeah.
Pretty
NXT
good.
was good. I enjoyed it, as always.
So, NXT, good. Raw, okay. SmackDown, meh.
Yeah.
I think that's a good analysis. And Extreme Rules, all right.
Yeah, it was all right. Not as extreme as I was hoping.
The
but
there
it's
was
not scoring because that was the end of it. See?
there we go. The main event was awesome. Some of the other matches were good. The women's championship match was awful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will be your predictions champion again in 2 weeks. So let's end the
Or
wrestling segment.
Either he will
Moving
be the
on.
next champion,
Mo-
or I
moving
will be
on.
the longest reigning.
Moving on.
It might be like a Finn
Moving
Balor,
on.
Kevin Owens situation going on here.
Moving on. We are now transitioning over to video games as the Universal Championship match takes place here for our Payback Universal mode. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Roman Reigns. And just so you guys know, Shinsuke Nakamura in this match, he won a tag team battle with Austin Aries against Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the right to name the stipulation, and this Universal Championship match is a last man standing match. So
Two
as
of those tonight. Said there's 2 of those tonight
tonight, what?
on this pay-per-view.
Oh, you were doing a last man standing
Yep.
match as well? Oh, figures. You didn't notice that I did one and you're going to do one too? Copycat.
Why not?
I made my matches first. You're copycat.
It can't be a theme for the
His
pay-per-view.
SmackDown, his show is copycatting off of me, the better, superior show. Yeah, I said it. I said it.
Okay, then. Who are your tag team champions?
The Hardy Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got Austin Aries.
No, this match is starting off right now, by the way. Shinsuke Nakamura, after what Roman has done to him, not taking anything for granted and just going right after Roman. Anyway, video games. E3's coming up.
Yep, E3's
Third-party
coming up.
stuff. We
Couple
already
of
talked about the
things.
big 3 last week. What are the third-party people doing?
Well, first, I want to talk about a couple quick things, such as...
Oh, news. Are we getting our
Yes.
daily... Are we getting our
Yes.
weekly episodic...
This just in, more news for Overwatch. For those of you who play the game, like I do, I absolutely love that game and can't stop
I was playing it last night. Everybody can attest. I was up until
Yes.
3 in the morning last night playing it.
This weekend is a double XP weekend, so this is a great time for you to get in and get those last-minute anniversary loot boxes.
Yeah. Also good if you have it. If you're just picking up the game, good way to power level yourself up to level 25 to be able to do competitive.
Exactly. It is so good. I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, what else have we got here? Oh yeah, CD Projekt Red. I felt really bad for them with this. Have you heard about the news?
I heard you said that like some of their Steam Cyberpunk 2077 stuff got leaked. And it's being held for
hasn't
ransom?
been leaked. Yeah,
Or
they
stolen.
had some of their
Cyber
internal
stolen.
files taken and are being held ransom and are being told that if they do not meet the demands, which they said they will not, that they will release the files that they have on Cyberpunk 2077 to the public, in which their response to that was, we're not going to pay the ransom. If you really are a fan of ours and are looking forward to our product, we advise you to not look at it, because while it is different than what its concept images that are going to look different than the actual game at this point, there might still be some spoiler stuff in there. So try to avoid it, and please don't look at anything unless we ourselves officially release it.
Yeah. Which, that's the right approach. I mean, the game, aside from the announcement, because, I went to go see CD Projekt Red stuff when they were still preparing The Witcher 3 a couple of years ago. And for Cyberpunk, all they had was a couple of concept art images, which were like very early storyboard, just concept, not like storyboard, but really very early, just like setting for like mood and everything, like images and like the logo for Cyberpunk, and that was a few years ago. So it's like we really haven't seen anything. So like,
Yeah.
like, do you really want to? God damn it, Roman Reigns. Do you really want to like spoil yourself with just concept art images when we really don't even know much?
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, there's also the news that apparently the majority of Mass Effect Andromeda, that while it was in development for roughly 5 years, that it was mostly the last year and a half of the development that the game was actually made, and that a lot of it was just, well, what about this idea? Scrap that idea. What about this one? Scrap that idea. So it was in like kind of development hell for a while, and it was only really the
They
last
just couldn't
year and a
figure
half.
out exactly what they wanted to do with it until it was too late.
Yeah. Which is not surprising, seeing as how that game was received. And then we've also got something that'll lead us into E3, which is that apparently some retailers have accidentally leaked some signage and stuff like that of Assassin's Creed Origins, leading more fuel to the fire that's going to be one of the big games that Ubisoft announces at E3 during their press conference. So, getting into E3 now, the first thing that we will start off with is on Saturday, June 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 p.m. our time here in the East Coast, the Beast Coast. EA is going to be having their press conference, EA Play.
Well, it's not so much a press conference as it is like their own like little separate event, because they're cool and they're not E3.
They're kind of like Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where they have to be different. Which is like, no, you're not really different, but we'll let you play your games, that way we can see stuff. I'm guessing that they're going to talk about all of their sports games. They're probably going to talk about Battlefront. What else do you think we're going to see from them?
Well, what I'm most excited about, obviously Battlefront, because we're both huge, massive Star Wars nerds, and I'm excited to see all the, Battlefront stuff, but also I am excited for their sports game stuff. As people know, on my YouTube channel, where this also airs, where a lot of people are probably seeing this, I play FIFA and Madden, and FIFA 18 is going to have the Journey mode continue, which is their storyline mode for anybody who doesn't know. And oh god, the monitors are on there. Oh god,
oh, Jesus.
This is gonna get ugly. Oh god, Shinsuke. Oh god, what is is Roman gonna get? Oh god, Roman, is he gonna get brainbuster on the monitor? Ooh. Oh, slammed on his back right on the monitors.
Jesus.
By Shinsuke Nakamura. That might very well be it. But the Journey is returning in FIFA 18. Mm-hmm. We do not know if it's gonna be. They said that there will be new characters, but they didn't specify whether or not that meant the protagonist, Alex Hunter. So we don't know if this is going to be a continuation of Alex Hunter's journey, and if people are going to get to play as the same character from FIFA 17, or if it's going to be a whole new protagonist on his journey.
I personally would assume that would probably be a new protagonist because of the fact that they're trying to do the whole, you're a rookie thing coming in. I don't think they'd have the same guy 2 years in a row.
The name of it is The Journey. And the way that they end, even though I haven't beaten FIFA 17, The Journey, I know how it ends. And technically,
nice reverse.
Roman went for the spear and Shinsuke reversed. The way that they end the FIFA 17, The Journey, they leave it so that way it very much is technically a new beginning for the character. So, and The Journey is basically a journey for him for his career in FIFA or just in soccer. Football, however you want to call it. So it could be a continuation. And it would be nice if I could reverse something so I'm not constantly trying to get up from a 10 count.
And I just think, personally, if it were me running the company, I would probably want to do something different, but I could see them doing the same thing. If it were me, I would say let's do new protagonists. But
yeah,
I'm not in charge of EA, so... I'm guessing they're going to do more Madden stuff.
Yeah, so Madden is going to get their own story mode, which all we've seen is a teaser of basically this voiceover of a guy talking about how it's the beginning of his kind of thing, and he's right in front of Lucas Oil Stadium, which is where the Indianapolis Colts play. Okay. So we're not sure if it's going to be like WWE the NBA 2K career stuff, or if it's gonna be like the Journey. I hope it's kind of like the Journey. We don't know if you're gonna create your own character and play their story, or if you're gonna have a set character like Alex Hunter in FIFA, and there's going to be a story mode around that person. But I'm excited about that. Excited about both of those. NHL 18 will not be at
new champion
Nakamura.
Shinsuke
after reversing the spear, hits his suplex and a Kinshasa in the middle of in the corner of the ring, and defeats.
Ow, in the corner? Jesus.
Yeah. And that, right on the monitors, just the table exploded. And is now your new Universal Champion, a 2-time Universal Champion.
I was really hoping you were going to let me go. Kinshasa!
You could have said it if you
were
talking. Oh, okay. Anyway, NHL 18's not. We know that NHL 18's not going to be there. It is going to be at the NHL Awards. They're waiting until the NHL Awards at the end of June to unveil their caliber athlete and the first gameplay trailer. So
no, I doubt it. But do you think they're going to do anything for WWE?
Well, that's not EA.
Press conference.
That's not EA.
Oh, that's right. That's 2K.
That's 2K. So we'll get to that eventually. So Madden, FIFA, a lot to be excited about. Got the Star Wars Battlefront stuff, and we also have the unannounced. We might finally see Visceral's, which is being written by Amy Hennig of Uncharted. If you guys have played Uncharted 1, 2, or 3, Amy Hennig was the lead writer for those games.
Well, she left in the beginning stages, I believe, of Uncharted 3.
I thought she left after Uncharted 3 and before Uncharted 4.
No, I'm pretty sure she left right in the beginning of Uncharted 3.
Anyway, she at least wrote Uncharted 1 and 2, which were awesome.
Yeah, Uncharted 2, one of my favorite games I've ever played.
And she is working with Visceral Games as one of the lead writers to do to do a Star Wars game, a currently unannounced Star Wars game for EA.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it is. We've known about it for weeks. Or not weeks, years. No, well, that's a lot of weeks, but we've known about it for years, and we haven't seen anything, so we're thinking this might be the E3 where something's finally revealed. And there are rumors going around that we might see a new Knights of the Old Republic announced.
Yeah,
well.
I've been hearing rumors that they might be doing a new one, and if they do, take my money, baby.
Shut up and take my money.
Loved Knights of the Old Republic.
Or,
I loved it so much.
I'm sorry. Shut up and take my credits.
Yeah. I loved Old Republic. Oh, it's starting to work again. I loved Old Republic so much. I'm just going to point out this tablet I have here, which I use for some notes and stuff. I actually was able to get the original Knights of the Old Republic on that. And I just played the hell out of it on my tablet. It's still good today. Such a good game.
Yeah.
I really hope they do another one.
Yeah. So we've got FIFA, we got Madden, we've got what else do we have? We mentioned the Star Wars stuff. Battlefront 1 just came out last fall, so I don't think we're gonna see a Battlefield. So I don't think we're gonna see a new Battlefield. I'm trying to think what other properties could we see from
They usually do
EA?
a Battlefield every year.
No, they do it every other year. They do the way that they do it now is you're thinking of Call of Duty.
No, I'm thinking of how they started then doing like Battlefield Hardline.
As of like a couple years ago, they did Battlefield Hardline. Then they came out with Battlefront. Then they came out with Battlefield 1. Now they're coming out with Battlefront 2. They're alternating Battlefronts and Battlefields right now.
I thought they were still doing like the Battlefield Hardline kind of stuff.
No. So I don't think we'll see a Battlefield until next E3. And that's all I can think of as far as EA properties go.
Yeah, I mean E3, it's mostly sports and Star Wars.
Yeah,
mostly.
Unless they come out with something that I don't know about. After EA Play happens, the second press conference that's happening is...
Can I just tell a quick joke involving EA?
Sure.
Well, not so much a joke, just something that always gets stuck in my head. You remember the old EA games when you'd start them up? How it would say, like...
EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Yeah, they still do that.
Yeah, they still do that. Buffalo Wild Wings. Every time I see one of their commercials, I hear beer, wings, sports. It's in the game. Just because I say it the same way. I just always stick in my head like that.
But moving on from EA, the second press conference of E3 happening Sunday night. This will be at 9... Oh, wait. EA does have a press conference to start off EA Play? Or is that when EA Play starts?
That's when EA Play starts. And they do their kind of press conference.
But yeah, that's going to start at noon on Saturday, 3 p.m. our time, 8 p.m. for those of you in the UK. Bethesda's is the next one that will happen, third party wise, which will be Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, or Pacific time, midnight Eastern time, so 5 in the morning in the UK. So you guys will probably hear from that late. Bethesda normally tries to go big. Last year they unveiled Quake, so I'm sure we'll see more Quake.
Yeah, we'll probably get to see more Quake. We might hear a mention, not necessarily anything new, maybe just a mention of the next Elder Scrolls game, because they said
it'll probably just be an announcement.
Yeah, they may announce like the name of it.
Yeah, they are working on it, and I saw a story saying that it might still be years away.
Yeah.
So
there's some Elder Scrolls Online too.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, no, they wouldn't do Elder Scrolls Online 2 because they just released the Morrowind expansion.
Well, I mean, they may talk about it a little bit, like some improvements they're gonna do or something.
Yeah, they'll probably go over the fact that Morrowind's out right now. They might announce the next Elder Scrolls game. There are rumors that Bethesda is in talks for an Elder Scrolls like Game of Thrones game.
Interesting.
With HBO, so that might be really cool. We might see that.
Rumor has it they may be coming out with a new spacefaring sci-fi RPG.
Yes, and there's that as well. I can't remember the name of it, but I saw that, and I think we might see the Game of Thrones game announced, the space game announced, and like actual potential content for it, because I think those are set to the people believe that's going to come out before the Elder Scrolls 6, because Game of Thrones only has this season and next season. So if they're going to capitalize on the Game of Thrones thing, they might want to do it quickly.
Yeah.
And then Elder Scrolls 6 might announce that it's coming. It's but not show anything. Also, just in that report, this is probably not going to get announced at the Bethesda press conference. But rumor is that Elder Scrolls 7 is going to be the creator's
6?
Magnus opus. No, not 6, 7.
Okay.
7 after 6 is going to be considered as Magnus opus. I think that's how it's called. What the phrase is, and that it will involve the entire continent of Tamriel.
That would be insane.
So, but that's like probably a decade away from now.
Yeah.
Because of all the game, because they got Elder Scrolls 6, the sci-fi game, which I would love. Like, we haven't seen a spacefaring, like, actual true sci-fi game from Bethesda yet, and I think that would be amazing to see.
Yeah,
so
the
I'm
closest
interested.
thing we've seen is Fallout.
Fallout, which is more like a post-apocalyptic, futuristic setting, than like spacefaring sci-fi.
Yeah.
Still sci-fi, but different kind. So we'll probably get again, possibly the Game of Thrones announcement if we hear about the Game of Thrones announcement. The space sci-fi game, maybe announcement that Elder Scrolls 6 is happening. Some Quake stuff, and maybe some info on the new Wolfenstein game.
That'd be. Yeah, I forgot that they were.
Because Wolfenstein: The New Order came out a few years ago, so it's probably about time for info on the new Wolfenstein to come out. So lots of good stuff to come from Bethesda.
Yeah.
Which is going to be very interesting. Then we've got the PC gaming show on Monday. It is happening at 10 a.m., which is Microsoft's usual slot. 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. in the U.S., 9 p.m. in the U.K. 1 p.m. on the East Coast U.S., 9 p.m. in the U.K. Or no, 6 p.m. in the U.K. My bad. 6 p.m. in the U.K. I don't really know what we're going to see from the PC gaming show. It's kind of been seen as a second or even third-rate press conference because nothing big really ever gets announced. But with the rise in PC gaming, who knows? Maybe we'll hear some esports stuff. Maybe Valve will have a presence. Maybe Valve will make some announcements. Like if we were saying, if they announce a partnership with maybe Microsoft to bring Left 4 Dead 3 and maybe even Half-Life 3 to Xbox and PC, maybe they'll go into more detail with that stuff there. Maybe we'll hear about some new tech stuff from like new processing and video card stuff. Maybe we'll hear some stuff on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. There's rumors that there's a new map coming out, so maybe we'll hear about that at the PC gaming show.
I actually read a little bit about it. They have a bunch of different people lined up to talk about a bunch of different games, and one of the things that I believe was said is that the one of the first people that's going to come out is for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and they don't know what exactly they're going to announce, but that they're going to announce something.
Yeah, there's. The game. I saw videos rumoring that a new map is coming, so maybe that's what they will come out with. Is they will debut a new map, and maybe if it's at the PC gaming show, they won't announce that it's coming to consoles.
Yeah.
So that would be a thing. That'd actually be a huge. We were talking about what Microsoft could do. This like proactively on last week's podcast. We were talking about what Microsoft could do to really like land and nail, suck people back in. If they were able to strike a deal for console exclusivity for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds,
that would be huge.
I don't think that's gonna happen because I feel like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is too huge to keep onto one console. But you never know.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what else could get announced. Maybe the guys who make the Friday the 13th game will announce maybe new skins or new maps for the Friday the 13th game. Like maybe we'll get Jason X to play as possibly.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Freddy versus Jason. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on the PC gaming show?
Nothing that I could really think of. Maybe Microsoft, I know they're going to have a presence there, maybe announcing some games like maybe Halo Wars 2 or Halo 5 or just some other games coming to PC.
Maybe Halo 6 PC port coming out with Halo 6 on time or something. Yeah. Maybe we'll get some Destiny 2 stuff, some info on the Destiny 2 PC version. Maybe get a release date for Destiny 2 on PC.
Maybe. Although I feel like something like that we would get more from Blizzard.
You mean Activision?
Blizzard's doing the PC thing, aren't they?
They're just hosting it on Battle.net. They're not managing the launch.
I understand, but I'm saying they might give it to them to make some kind of announcement involving it on the PC during their whole shtick.
Maybe Blizzard will come out with some Overwatch stuff on on the PC gaming show. Maybe we might get some League of Legends updates. Probably maybe some esports stuff on the PC gaming show, because that's where the most popular esports are. They're on PC, unless you're like Call of Duty.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh God, Styles Clash on the chair.
Styles Clash on the chair to Samoa Joe.
So that's the PC gaming show, and then the final press event that we haven't talked about. It's the second one on Monday. The second one on Monday, happening at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. in the U.S. East Coast, and 9 p.m. This one's happening at 9 p.m. UK. Is Ubisoft. Ubisoft is probably, aside from maybe Bethesda, is the one that will probably have the most exciting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because Assassin's Creed Origins is gonna happen probably. What's the other big game that we know that they're coming out with? Far Cry 5. I think they're going to open with Far Cry 5, and they're going to close it with Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, probably.
Start strong with the game you've officially announced, then end strong with the game that you haven't officially announced, but what's been leaked. We haven't seen Assassin's Creed for a few years. They decided to take the franchise off the release date. Head right on the chair. They decided to take
a break, especially
take a break to kind of reboot the franchise, find its footing, because Unity was not a good game, and the one after that, Syndicate, was okay but not great, and people were facing fatigue. So I think I'm really excited to see what Origins is gonna do. Believably set in ancient Egypt. We don't know if the Origin story, if the reboot means we're just gonna follow the random assassins, and we're not going to have any future Animus stuff or anything, or what have you. So it's going to be interesting to see what the reboot is. It's going to be interesting to see
origins of
Egypt stuff.
Yeah,
if it's the origins of the two different orders.
It could be the orders, it could be the bloodlines, could be any number of things.
Yeah. So that's going to be really cool to see that from Ubisoft. I'm also really excited to see anything new from Far Cry 5. We might finally see some gameplay.
Yeah, that's what the rumor is that we might see gameplay of it there.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've heard of a couple other things. I can't remember off the top of my head that might be coming with Ubisoft to it. I'm guessing nothing with Watch Dogs, but that's
they might talk about the. They might potentially talk about or maybe they'll be the ones, and Nintendo will talk about it more in depth. Maybe they'll be the ones that announce the Mario and Rabbids crossover.
Yeah, it's possible.
I'm trying to think what else does Ubisoft? Probably maybe a new Just Dance, because they always do Just Dance every year.
Maybe. I know they had a lot. Like the rumor has it is that they're gonna have a lot of stuff, especially after someone's been trying to strong arm buy them this year, that they're going to try and put on a strong
Vivendi,
show to show that they are no one's property kind of thing.
Because they've been fighting off that hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Which I hope they successfully fight off, because that's not a cool thing. Like, I know people at Ubisoft, I don't want to see anything bad happen to them or be like hostily taken over by a company that has not been in the game industry in a while and kind of didn't do very well when they were in the game industry, at least at the end. Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed, that's pretty much it. Just Dance, maybe the Rabbids game. I'm trying to think of other properties. I don't think we'll hear anything about the what was the name of the game that came out this year that was like the open world skiing and snowboarding game?
Steep, I think.
Steep. I don't think we're going to hear anything else on Steep. And I'm trying to think, what are the other big franchises that Ubisoft do right now?
Let's find out.
Ubisoft. Watch Dogs. We're not going to see any new Watch Dogs.
You know what I think we might see? There's been no word of it.
New Splinter Cell.
Yeah, we haven't seen new Splinter Cell in a while. That's what I was thinking.
I would love to hear about a new Splinter Cell, because we have been away from Sam Fisher for quite a while.
They may do that. They may do more information, some DLC stuff for the Wildlands, since that came out this year. Ghost Recon Wildlands. They might do something new with The Division. Who knows?
That is true. They could announce, because from what I've heard, I played the crap out of The Division when it came out last year, but it was a disappointment, basically, in the end.
Yeah, that's one thing I heard.
Let's
see, what else is there? Because, I mean, I heard that they might be coming out with a bunch of stuff. Maybe a new Prince of Persia. I doubt that, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe they will come out with a new Prince. If it is what you say they are, and they're gonna go all out this year, maybe they are like, hey, we got Far Cry 5, you know about that, but guess what? Boom, new Assassin's Creed. Boom, Prince of Persia's back. Boom, Splinter Cell's back. Like maybe they announced a new Rainbow Six Siege, maybe new expansions for the Division and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So pretty much Ubisoft, they're gonna be really exciting because they got those two big tentpole games. And then it's a lot of uncertainty. Maybe we'll see a lot of good stuff. It might be a strong show for them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Before we
they have a lot of potential.
Yeah. Before we wrap things up, we're going to talk about other third-party developers on the floor. We'll kick things off with 2K because the WWE 2K games. 2K18. I haven't heard anything. I know there was some news about it like this week or last week. Oops, that was my keyboard.
If I had to take a guess, I'm guessing they're probably going to do the same thing they did last year.
Just reveal the first people on the roster, maybe the cover athlete. Yeah,
they might do stuff like that. And I have a feeling Chaboy, as he likes to call himself, Xavier Woods, may be part of that because I know he was part of it last year.
Yeah, we were part of it last year with Up Up Down Down. I'm sure they're gonna do something Up Up Down Down with it, of course.
Let's hope New Day's on the cover then.
I wouldn't be surprised if New Day gets put on the cover.
I would love it.
I think they probably should get put on the cover.
I have a feeling it might be like AJ though.
Maybe. I feel like it could be AJ, but also the New Day have sold so much merch, especially since the last year, and they've been so widely popular, and they're now the longest reigning tag team champions in history, that maybe they will get the nod on the cover.
Yeah, I think they'll get a nod on the cover when they do a game where they and they'll announce it when they announce that they're going to be the cover athletes, that they're going to do some retooling and more focusing on stuff with tag team stuff in the games.
Mm-hmm. Other 2K stuff. They just came out with the new Mafia, so that's not going to happen. I really don't know what else 2K's got working. There's rumors that Borderlands 3 is going to get announced on one of the press conferences, so they might have Borderlands 3 on hand.
Borderlands related, I'm guessing.
I don't think they'll have anything Battleborn related because Battleborn came out at the worst possible time.
Yep. I just want to answer you very quickly, Ryback. The one thing I would love to see at E3 that I don't think we're ever going to see, but I'm going to say it pretty much every time, and this would be the ultimate take my money. If it came out,
Suikoden come back.
Suikoden 6. If Suikoden 6 came out, I would lose my mind. It's not going to happen, but if it happened, I would lose my mind. Realistically, the one thing I want to see, if you'll allow me to transition to another company.
Real quick, is there anything else 2K related? I don't think we'll get NBA 2K stuff. We said possibly Borderlands. Civ 6 just came out, so I don't think we'll get a Civilization game.
One thing that would be very good for them, but I doubt it. What? Something new BioShock related.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is that there is no longer an Insomniac Games.
Yeah.
Insomniac Games is no more, and Ken Levine, maybe, I can't remember, I think Ken Levine's new studio is still under 2K, so maybe Ken Levine's new small studio, small studio, they've been quiet ever since they formed a few years ago. Maybe they'll reveal what project they're up to.
Maybe.
That's Red Dead is Rockstar is under the Take-Two banner, which 2K is also at, but I think that's going to be behind closed doors.
And they, like I said, with the whole announcement that they're going to be releasing the game later than originally anticipated, they said they are going to release like some screenshots and stuff like that of the game, so they might do it there.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
transitioning to Blizzard. Terry Crews is going to be at E3, and apparently he said Blizzard is going to have some kind of big announcement, so I'm hoping for Doomfist.
Maybe we'll get the Doomfist announcement. Maybe that'll happen at the PC Gaming Show.
It might happen at the PC Gaming Show. I'm hoping that because I know he's coming there specifically for Blizzard and said that they have some kind of big announcement, so I'm hoping that they announce Doomfist and that Terry Crews is going to be Doomfist and that they might show the first animated short of this season, because apparently each year they're referring to it as a different season, and that it'll focus on him. If not, I'm hoping that they announce that Doomfist will be coming to the game at some point and that Terry Crews is voicing it, and that they announce the next character in general, which may be Hammond from the Lunar Horizon colony, since they've been kind of hinting at that with the new map and everything.
Yeah.
But I am excited for anything that they can announce Overwatch-wise.
Yeah.
Especially since Terry Crews is going to be there.
As for what do I want to see, I I really don't know because a lot of what's happening, like a lot of the games that I want to see, we already know are happening, or it's rumored that they are happening.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if it was something that I would want that's not announced, maybe the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake aren't going to take until 2020 to come out.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I think the new Knights of the Republic game. That's what I want to see most, I think.
I think I would prefer that over anything else.
The new Knights of the Republic game officially not being just a weird out there floating their rumor, but an actual physical thing, an actual announcement.
I would also like it if they showed that Battlefront 2 is going to be like the original Battlefront games more than this last one.
Yeah.
The last one was fun, but it's still not as good as the old ones.
Yeah. Well, and then moving on to other guys, we talked 2K. We briefly touched on Blizzard. I don't think Blizzard's going to announce anything new. Maybe like some World of Warcraft stuff, some Overwatch stuff, some Heroes of the Storm such. I don't think we're going to get a new game from Blizzard.
Maybe something related to StarCraft because it's been a while.
Yeah,
not necessarily a new game, but something for StarCraft.
Maybe, but StarCraft 2 is still one of the most popular esports out there. So
I know. I'm saying they might make an announcement about something like that.
Activision, they're probably gonna have some Destiny stuff. They're gonna have some Call of Duty World War II stuff, which is gonna be cool. Outside of that, I don't know what they'll do.
Tony Hawk.
Jesus Christ, that franchise needs to stay dead after what happened to the last one.
Yeah. Don't they also do Skate?
No, I think who did Skate? I think it might have been EA.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because or it might have been an independent, somebody else, but it couldn't have been Activision because I know that Skate was created to create, I think, competition for Tony Hawk. Capcom is going to have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, so I'm hoping we get a roster reveal, like a full-on roster reveal, or a majority of the roster.
Probably going to hear about, not necessarily there, but in general, something about new Lego games.
Yeah. Bandai Namco, I'd like to see them come out with, and this is just me fantasy guessing, but like coming out with like the first ever Dragon Ball Super game, because they handle all the Dragon Ball Z games, the Naruto games.
I would like to see them do, I forget the name of it, but I know they came out with a game this last year that wasn't as big and known as the Dragon Ball Z games, where it featured a bunch of it featured a bunch of different characters from a bunch of different franchises, and included, I believe, Yusuke Urameshi and Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be cool.
And I would like to see them come out with another one of those, maybe
kind of like a Shonen Jump fighter.
Yeah, and have more characters involved in that.
That would be cool. Also, I think they'll have Ni no Kuni 2 there, because Ni no Kuni 2 is now yet.
Maybe something Naruto related.
Yeah, probably something Naruto related, or maybe even Boruto related. What else do we got? We got Square Enix, maybe a new Tomb Raider game.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have something Kingdom Hearts 3 that people can actually play. I don't know. But Hitman's not happening. It seems like Final Fantasy and Square Enix are a ways away, so maybe they'll have like the new expansion for Final Fantasy 14 came out, so maybe they'll have that for people to play.
Yeah.
But it's already been released. Yeah, I really don't know what Square Enix is gonna have there because of their situation. Like I said, maybe a new Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we see something new about a new Infamous game.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the last thing we seen was Second Son, and that came out with the
that's
PlayStation 4.
That's Sucker Punch that's making that, and they're owned by PlayStation, so it would be at the Sony thing.
Yeah, true.
That's not. What else? I'm trying to think of other companies that are traditionally there. Atlas, probably just some Persona 5 stuff. Don't know what else they would have. What other third-party companies? I know I'm forgetting somebody.
Talked about like CJ
Project Red. Maybe we'll see some Cyberpunk stuff finally.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see some stuff there.
God, I'm trying to think. Oh, Warner Brothers, Shadow of War. I'm sure we'll see Shadow of War stuff, which will be really good.
Definitely.
Maybe some Injustice 2 DLC information because Injustice 2 just dropped, or they'll just have Injustice 2 there for people to play because it already came out. Maybe
Mortal Kombat stuff.
Probably maybe a new Mortal Kombat. Probably some Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 stuff.
Yeah,
because WB has the Lego franchise rights.
Maybe something about next Star Wars Lego game too, since that's going to be coming out the next movie. And I know they've been doing one for like each movie, at least thinking about it.
Well, don't they come out with that a year after the movie releases? So it'll probably be a year and a half away. So it'll probably be next E3 that they come out with The Last Jedi. Trying to think what else. What other franchises do Warner Brothers do? That's pretty much it. Like DC and Lord of the Rings normally the big stuff. Maybe they come out with a new. I know there's rumors that there's going to be another Arkham game coming out.
I wouldn't be
or something. Or maybe whatever Rocksteady's been working on, because Rocksteady has moved on after Arkham Knight from the Arkham series, but they're going to have but who knows, they might reveal their new game. Maybe it's like a Green Lantern game or a Superman game or something like that. Maybe it's something else in the DC that's like something similar.
Yeah, I don't. By the way, Ryback, I don't think they're going to do any kind of.
They're not announcing the new GTA because Rockstar only works on one game at a time, and they're focusing on Red Dead 2 now. GTA 6, if I was going to guess, is probably still 3 or 4 years away. Yeah, especially since GTA 5 is still one of the most popular games out there, and they keep supporting it with new updates and everything. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think GTA 6 is probably years away. So maybe they announce some new GTA 5 content.
Maybe.
But that's about it. And I'm trying to think, is there anybody else I'm missing? I'm trying to think. I know I'm missing anything. Telltale, maybe information on the new on future episodes of the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Maybe season 3 just finished of Walking Dead, so I don't think they'll have a season 4 of the Walking Dead stuff. Maybe they'll come out. Maybe they'll say that there's a season 2 of A Wolf Among Us. Maybe they'll announce a season 2 of Batman. Maybe they'll come out and announce their season 2 of Batman the Telltale series, or maybe they'll announce some new projects. I'm trying to think. Is there anybody else we're forgetting? I feel like there's some major companies that we are forgetting that make good games.
Yeah, probably. There's just so many.
Yeah, there's so many games at E3 because it is the big show. And we will be talking about that, I'm sure, next week, next Friday. We'll be doing like an E3 in review kind of show. It's probably going to focus heavily on E3, and we'll obviously be doing Money in the Bank predictions. As well, while I speed through the week in review. And also, I am pretty, yes, Big Stupid, he's calling you Ryback because he's just dumb like that.
Well, no, you don't remember last week.
I do, no, I remember last week. I'm just calling you dumb for the sake of being dumb. And I lost my train of thought. I think I'm going to be trying to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it so much on Sunday, because it's the weekend, but Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to try to maybe live stream, do some IRL streams here on Twitch, and react to the PC gaming show, the Ubisoft conference, the Sony conference, and the Nintendo Direct. Like I said, because Sunday I'm going to be busy. I don't know if I'm going to do IRL reactions for Microsoft and Bethesda, unless maybe my girlfriend wants to come by here and she doesn't mind sitting here and being on the stream with you guys and reacting with you guys. Then maybe I'll do some reactions for Bethesda and Microsoft as well. Or at least Microsoft, because she's an Xbox fangirl. But that's all next week. For this week, I believe we are all wrapped up for Super Grapple Bros. Hope you guys enjoyed Extreme Rules. Hope you guys are excited for E3, because if you're watching live on Twitch, that is happening tomorrow. If you're listening to this on iTunes, well, actually, if you're listening to iTunes and SoundCloud, that might be tomorrow, because I'm going to try to get that up today. If you're watching this on YouTube, that is happening right now, because as it is, EA Play, I believe, I'll be putting this up 2 hours before EA Play starts, so unless you catch it in the first 2 hours, E3 is already happening. Yep. So hopefully our EA predictions were right. Our discussion, what we talked about was right.
Yeah. 3 good and 6. End of story.
That's Konami. But
I know, but I'm saying what we want out of E3. Yeah. End of story.
Okay. So that is it for episode 10 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, do not forget, we are here live every week on Twitch at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. You can find us on YouTube, on my personal YouTube channel at youtube.com/RealLMurpho. You can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes as well. Just search for Super Grapple Bros.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to email us at supergrapplebros@gmail.com.
Yes, we'll try to answer your questions as they come in if we can find the time. My mind went blank on one last thing that I wanted to say, so I'm just going to say that is it for us tonight. Today, it's morning. I don't know why I said tonight. I'm tired. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep.
Take care. Enjoy E3, guys.
Peace.
I'm hoping I picked the right scene here.
Shut up.
Yeah, I
and
got
sit
it.
down.
Now mute the mic.